All right, so the internet is still super buzzy and flipping out over Critical Role's decision to use Dungeons and Dragons. The writing was on the wall, not because of most of the reasons that are being postulated. These campaigns are years long. They are planned out, and I don't mean the players all know what's going to happen, but the beats and everything that's happening is planned out in a long form. You got to get to it early. This is not your average dungeon master who's going to come to the table ill prepared and well, an hour before the game I decided to make things. However, that's really not the most fascinating aspect of what the announcement was. It's really the fact that they're going to have 13 players, and word is it's going to be a West Marches campaign. So let's talk about West Marches campaigns. And I'm not here to teach you how to do a West Marches campaign. There's plenty of stuff for that. This is the idea and the concept of West Marches and the possibility that this might actually be one of their more popular campaign streams if it's a true West Marches campaign. And that remains to be seen. There are a lot of people who think they do West Marches, and they're not really doing West Marches. I'm going to add the link to the original article in the description so you can take a look at that. Don't go there yet. Just hear what I have to say, and you can see how the history and the development went for a West Marches game. So you have 13 players. And let's just say that's what you have for your West Marches. So you have your 13 players, and each one of those players will have one or more characters. And the reason you have one or more characters is because once your character A is engaged in a group and in an adventure, you don't get to use them again. You don't touch them. If they're heading towards the Shrine of Ill Repute, they are there until they come back to the base camp. The base camp will be whatever frontier town, city town, camp, whatever they have. Until they return, they're no longer usable outside of the adventure they're currently on. And so I know they said they're going to start off with the three different groups. In a true West Marches game, that's not going to last. And it's not how it should. It should not last where you're continually segregated. The idea is that player one and player X play on separate streams, but then there's going to come a time when those two players are going to want to play together and they're going to investigate a rumor or a legend or a myth or a location, and they're going to go out and do that, and they're going to take those characters. And that's again why you have more than one character per player, is because that moldability and the adaptability to the environments. um, the other big aspect of it is it's not a single dungeon master. It's not really the intent. The intent is a West Marches puts a lot of the onus for game time on the players, because it's up to the players to decide, hey, we want to go and investigate this thing, and are you available to run it? No. Okay, are you available to run it? Yes. Okay, then you go out and do that. And again, it's until those characters come back, they're not, they have to return to the base camp where everything goes out from there. The other way of doing it was maybe if they're camping out in the woods, they have a bivouac, or they've set up something else where they're not in a dungeon, they're not currently engaged, and the other party met them, and then you could have that tag team and they could go off and do it. So there's ways around it, but by intent of West March is once your character is adventuring, your character is no longer able to be used. You can't just suddenly vanish from that group and go play something else. So where people do make mistakes. I do think they're going to have more than one dungeon master. If it's a true West March of the game, they're not going to just have Brandon. Or Brendan. It's going to be Matt Mercer's probably going to step back up, and Aubria is another dungeon master who's currently playing, and so she will also probably take a role. I think three would be good. You really don't need more than that. Two could probably do it, but three will be perfect because you're going to see a lot of different styles and how they hit those challenges. They've already set the player types up by what those players prefer over the last three campaign seasons. If you just listen to people, you understand how their preferred method of play. And so I think once they get past those initial adventures and get those first sets of characters out the door on the three parties, that's when you start to see the intermixing, and the people will go out and they'll start having these machinations with each other and against each other, and how they play off of one another. I ran a West Marches game for Savage Worlds, and it was very interesting idea. It's a very interesting concept. It is very difficult to pull off. It is very difficult to pull off as intended and as directed and as guided by what a no kidding West Marches game is. A lot of people like to get loosey goosey with their definition of things. That's okay, cool, but you either are playing West Marches style or you're not playing a West Marches style. So I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be cool. It might be one of their best campaigns yet if they get to really get in there and get the groove flowing and they're rotating those dungeon masters. And that's going to put the video production in a really interesting thing because they're going to be playing ahead of time and then posting the videos. And so you won't just have this expected weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly rotation. You might see this in a really interesting fashion. I think it's going to be really cool. I look forward to at least seeing how it gets started, where they go with it. If it's not real West Marches, who knows? Hopefully, it's entertaining. But yeah, if you want to hear more about why I think that Daggerheart was never going to be the campaign for, let me know below. If you want to hear more about West Marches and how they it works out, or maybe the planning and plotting of a West Marches, or how to get your friends into a West Marches thing, it's doable. Let me know that as well. But other than that, have a good time, have fun. I sincerely think it's going to be cool. I don't hate Daggerheart. I actually own Daggerheart. I run it. It's right up my alley. It's essentially fourth edition D&D and Powered by the Apocalypse had a baby. That's all you need to know about Daggerheart. I made a little video about that. Go check it out. It really is that simple. It's not complicated. But yeah, take care. See you next time.